Good morning, folks. Welcome aboard another day of building EV. Today I am going to try and get that wardrobe. Well, I'm not sure. It won't be complete because I won't get the doors on and stuff. There's complications on the hinges, but I can get the internal of this wall up, I think, and get the internal cover of the electrics down there. So and then if I can get the it looking like a wardrobe, then that will be really useful. I might also get to this wardrobe and certainly put the edge banding on that and stuff as well. We'll see how far we get. Anyway, it's wardrobes. So I started by sort of trying to make a vague assessment of where the shelves would be, and then so where I could put the switch panel. I decided that was a good spot for it. This just needs a USB cable to run to the back of it from the relay box, the black box down below. But routing that USB is obviously not straightforward when you've decided to mount everything up and make it all very tight and whatever. So anyway, my favourite thing, cable threading. That one actually worked relatively easily. I did try kind of routing it through with a piece of flex, so that didn't work. It was too thick, wouldn't bend around the corner. And then even though I'd managed to get this thin bit of wire through and to tape onto it, then I couldn't get the socket plug to go around the corner, so I had to loosen off a bunch of screws and whatever. But once that was done, then that's cool. I haven't even stuck it on. It has got some sticky stuff there to hold it, but the hole that I've drilled seems to be just about the right sort of size. Then the little cables that go to the the start on off button for the motor and the hatch raising and lowering switch, those needed to be fed through. I have naturally cut out a whole bunch of me swearing and what have you, just how easy this was. But anyway, it's done, and then there was the Victron screen thing. I hadn't really figured out how to do this or where it was going to go, but obviously it's attached to the screen at one end, so I had to feed the plugs down to the other end. That worked relatively easily, and well, I needed to figure out where it was going to go, but we'll come to that later. And then just a little bit of sort of tidying up to put things back in place. That's the heating controls, that white box there, that will do something else will happen to that, but I'm not quite sure what yet. So this is me making the inside of the cupboard, as in the piece that will cover over all the electrics on the left there. I seem to have picked a bit of wood that matches in quite nicely to the bit that's on the wall, so it'll sort of look like it's continuing. I've just got some magnetic catches that I started. There's me lying down on the job. I'm not sure whether even what I've done will survive the test of time. I might end up improving on it once I get to mounting the shelves in the cupboard. Then I realise that I might have to change how this is all attached. So after spending quite a lot of time trying to get it right, these three verticals, or the three horizontals, they aren't actually even in a line, despite the fact that I put them on attached to a board and what have you. So I really don't know how nothing is ever in line, as ever. But there we go. It's so this is I was just moving one of the fixings there because I decided it was potentially going to be in the way once I'd attached this side. And the sides, both of them, are getting caught on the pipes in the floor. This is me just trying to make an assessment of what height I want that Victron screen at, because I sort of wanted it accessible from inside and outside. But anyway, so I used the heat gun on the pipes. My pipes, I can use heat guns on them. In fact, it's a way of sort of resetting the bend. Don't use heat guns on John Guest pipes. It's a bad thing. They're not allowed. Whatever. So anyway, then I realised that I could get on with doing the waxing. I needed to wax that the strip that I had attached on the edge. So I redid the whole face just because it was easier, and the inside of the cuts, which you'll see only when the doors are open, but standard stuff. I didn't bother using the roller obviously because, well, there's very little of it to use the roller on, so it just becomes a kind of rub it on, and then I didn't even use the roller on these bigger bits. It didn't really seem like it was worth it. The roller, it dries out with the wax on it. I don't need to clean it off between things, but it's easier to use the brush and just mush it around with the with one of the with a rag. So that seems a fine way of doing it, particularly as it's the inside of the cupboards. Then I'm not really worried about streaks too much on these areas. If you want to see me doing proper waxes, go back and look for the Karate Kid videos. So you can just mush it around and spread it over the areas that aren't covered. Then I realised that after sticking a chisel in my hand, perhaps move this back down to the floor so that it makes it easier. This is just because I didn't clean off where the circular saw was used to pierce these doors out. Then obviously there's a sort of radius to those cuts, and so I just needed to take those off, which I did with the chisel, and then I just covered them up with a bit more wax. So that'll be fine, and that all seemed to look like it was going to go in okay. This edge is a little bit too tall, so just nick the top off that. The circular saw, I'd managed to get it into a state where it was ready for a blade change or something. I really couldn't figure out what was going on with it, and I unplugged it and everything to mess around, and anyway, got it working, and so that was fine. And then I wanted some brackets to join these two things together. Because of the edge banding, then I can't use pocket holes into one or t'other, because I'll just be going into the edge banding. So these are just some brackets that I've set back by about 2 mil, which is quite a lot. But because the edges at the other edges are going to be mounted with pocket holes, then I decided that I wanted something with a bit of flexibility, but also something that was going to pull up tight once I did it. So this is me putting the pocket holes in the in for mounting this to the wall. The pocket hole jig even works loads better with dust extraction. So dust extraction, way to go. Yes, John, you're right. I'll say it again. I'll keep on saying it. I might even say, yes, you're right, as many times as you told me to use dust extraction. So this is me just putting these in relatively loosely at this stage. I'm not trying to do anything uptight. As I say, I want the flexibility of being able to line everything up on the pocket holes where I want them. So this is me just putting the pocket holes together, and the foam ran out here, but well, I just kind of did them up, and then I did those bracket screws that I just mentioned. Well, that's the first wardrobe kind of looking like it's something, you know, we can see that it's going to be a wardrobe anyway. Obviously got the switch panel there. That's cool. I've realised that I've forgotten to make the necessary holes in the side for the Victron panel. So I would like to be getting on with that, but got a Santa's little helper turning up, and so we will be working on the ceiling over the weekend. So I'll be doing that. Take care. Bye.